Thanks very much. My name's Simon Brandon. I'm Marketing Manager for Stratasys. And it's been a really interesting show here at TCT because we're getting a lot of people coming onto our booth that's reflecting how the market's going. And we think that maybe 2-3 years ago we were having conversations saying what is 3D printing? But now people understand what 3D printing is. There's enough around about it. Magazines like yourselves have done enough to raise the awareness of the industry. So now what we're really finding is that people are saying, okay, we understand what 3D printing is, but what can we really do with it? And I think there are probably two things. That prototyping has obviously been a strong area. Product design, product development has been an area where 3D printing is really being used for several years now. But people are looking at going, okay, can we go from a basic concept, a concept model, and take that to something that's really functional? So we've had one of our customers today, Design Reality. They designed products and they showed us some cycling goggles that they went from sketching on a piece of paper into CAD, then printed them out, put them on, cycle down a track and actually test how they work. And that's fantastic to actually get that level of realism with sort of different flexibility, the different shore hardness in the materials, the different colours obviously, which is a fantastic thing for really getting it as close to possible as life. The second area that people are really talking to us about is in the manufacturing arena. 3D printing has gone from being something that's just the secret of product designers, and now manufacturers are starting to realise the benefits of it. So we've got people who are using 3D printing for creating jigs, fixtures, tooling, to really speed up their manufacturing, reduce costs in their manufacturing, which is obviously always really important. And you've got examples like, we've got Straka, motor racing team. They race at Le Mans. They use one of our 3D printers to do the tooling when they're putting their car to pieces. And they look at every component on the car and go, okay, how can we improve this? And 3D printers is an important part of the tooling for that. As well as, of course, for actual race-ready parts. They've got camera mounts on the car that are 3D printed. And that's really important to them because of the performance benefits that 3D printing brings. We've also got loads of examples of companies, large and small, where they're using tooling to really improve what they were doing. So we've got a local company to here, Rutland Plastics. They used to create their fixtures out of aluminium, and it would take them weeks and lots of money to create these things. Now they can print them overnight. Okay, yeah, that's fine, but not quite right. Let's print another one. And it's not thousands of euros gone down the drain on something. It's something that's really real, and it means that their manufacturing is so much more efficient, both in terms of time and money, and they can bring that through to the end product. So it's fantastic. Absolutely. We've got two areas really where you can see the innovation coming through. There's the printers themselves, and there are the materials that are in them. Each one needs the other one to really push that innovation forward. So I think what we quite often see is the printers come along and then the materials come to really utilise the capabilities of the printers. So we've got some pretty exciting prints in development that we've not got any to launch here today, unfortunately, I wish. But we've got some really good stuff coming in the near future, and looking forward to that. But looking back at just a year ago, the amount of printers that we released at Euromold at the time was incredible. I forget what the number was, about 13 different printers came out at the same time, and it's amazing, and it opens up some of the more advanced capabilities to a wider market, because we take some of the capabilities from the very top end, make them more accessible to the mid-market, and hopefully that continues to go ahead. A dream of MakerBot was, say, a 3D printer on every desk. I don't think it's there yet. It may be there in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, who knows? People probably laughed at Microsoft when they had that same vision. That definitely will come at some point, but where we're seeing MakerBot now is in two really important areas. The first one's education. It's great to be able to teach children and older students about 3D printing, and MakerBot makes that really accessible to them. You know, they can actually practice what they're going to do on probably higher end systems once they are engineers out in industry. The second area, of course, is in a larger mass market of concept modelling, so that people can go from design to a physical 3D model really quickly. And I think it's been a really exciting thing for the market, where 3D printing has become more accessible at the lower end at a better price point, where it can get into the hands of more designers, and the end result of that has got to be that those designers can create better end products. So that's great for everyone. Oh, good question. I think there's a bit of both, definitely. There has been a lot of hype in the market. I think if you look back, probably the peak of the hype was maybe 12 to 18 months ago. Stories like the 3D printed gun, you know, there was a lot in the mainstream press about that. And we certainly, you know, got a lot of interest from people saying, well, you know, what are these things? What can I do with them? And probably people who didn't yet have the knowledge of 3D CAD or how to design just thought, oh, I get one, I press a button, I can have anything. And, you know, that's a long way away. Yeah, the Star Trek type thing. But the hype's been really good to an extent as well, because people start to hear about 3D printing, say, okay, maybe we do need to take this seriously. What's in it for us? And that's where the disruption comes in. And the disruption is really coming in now, I think, into manufacturing. The hype term is the next industrial revolution. Is it that? Maybe not. But what we certainly are seeing is that manufacturing is being disrupted, and that people coming up to us at this show are saying, you know, we need to look at this. We need to see what it can do for us. And that's obviously great for us as people who make 3D printers, but it's great for industry as a whole to find that greater efficiency. It adds to the hype and the disruption to an extent. A company with the size of HP, with the marketing power of HP, makes a lot of noise in the industry. And that's good for the industry as a whole. Yeah. Okay, they're a big, powerful competitor. We'd probably rather not have more competition, but it's actually good because more and more people are going to hear the story of 3D printing. And particularly those people who are maybe harder to reach, because we've seen the early innovators, and it's maybe the people who are more risk averse will start to hear the same story from us, from HP, from all the other 3D printing companies about this can save you time and money in your manufacturing. You should be looking at this. And so that's got to be positive for everyone.